TV soap news and spoilers say that Days of Our Lives has long been known for its dramatic twists, shocking revelations, and unpredictable character arcs. Among its most intriguing storylines is the mysterious shooting of EJ DiMera. Fans have been on the edge of their seats as they've watched EJ wake up from his near-death experience, only to be plagued by amnesia and unable to remember who shot him. But what if the story isn't as straightforward as it seems? Could it be possible that EJ shot himself? Not in the literal sense, but in a more devious and calculated way, orchestrating the entire situation to suit his own dark purposes. In this article, we'll dive deep into this theory, exploring the possibility that EJ's shooting wasn't an accident, and instead, a meticulously crafted scheme by the man himself. Could EJ have set everything up, creating a grand drama designed to manipulate and frame one of his enemies? Let's examine the evidence, the motives, and the mind of one of Days of Our Lives' most cunning and complex characters to understand whether EJ could have masterminded his own shooting. The amnesiac EJ DiMera, a man with a dark secret. When EJ woke up from his shooting, he had no memory of the events that transpired. As expected, this amnesia caused an immediate sense of confusion and uncertainty, not just for EJ, but for the viewers as well. How could someone as sharp and calculating as EJ not remember who shot him? This sudden lapse in memory, however, could be more than just a plot device. It might be part of a far darker and more intricate plan that EJ devised himself. Could it be that EJ is not telling the truth about his memory loss? Is he playing the victim to manipulate the people around him, or is he attempting to cover up the truth of his own actions? In soap operas, nothing is ever quite as it seems. And EJ DiMera has always been a character who thrives in the shadows, plotting his next move with great precision. The clues: EJ's final words and Stefano's portrait. Before the fateful shooting, there was a crucial moment that stands out: EJ staring at the portrait of his father, Stefano DiMera. As he gazed at the image of the man who had shaped much of his life, EJ muttered words that would later haunt the storyline. "I've defeated everyone." These words were not just the musings of a man facing defeat. They were the reflection of a mindset that had always been about control, power, and manipulation. EJ had always sought to surpass his father's legacy, and it's entirely possible that these words marked the beginning of a calculated move. Could this be the moment EJ decided to enact a dark plan? The notion that he had defeated everyone suggests a certain level of self-satisfaction, as if he had outsmarted his enemies, and perhaps even set up the stage for what was about to unfold. EJ's pride in his actions and his confidence that he could outwit those around him could easily lend itself to the theory that he staged his own shooting, setting up a drama where he would be the victim and, at the same time, the mastermind pulling the strings behind the scenes. The list of enemies. Could EJ have created a scenario to frame his foes? One of the most compelling aspects of this theory is EJ's long-standing list of enemies. Throughout his time on Days of Our Lives, EJ has made many enemies, some due to his ruthless business dealings, others because of his personal vendettas. But who could have been the most likely candidate to want to kill him? In EJ's mind, there were certainly several people who had good reasons to want him dead. Just before the shooting, EJ was overheard listing all the people he considered to be his enemies. This moment is key because it could easily be seen as the setup for what would follow. Could EJ have carefully orchestrated the entire situation to make one of these enemies appear as the shooter? By planting seeds of doubt and suspicion, EJ could have manipulated his loved ones and enemies alike into believing that someone else was responsible for his condition. This raises the possibility that EJ set up Rafe Hernandez to take the fall. Rafe, a man who had clashed with EJ on numerous occasions, is an obvious suspect in the eyes of many. It wouldn't be out of character for EJ to plant a wiretap or manipulate evidence in such a way that Rafe would be implicated in the crime. By doing this, EJ would not only shift blame onto one of his enemies, but also create a complex narrative where he is the innocent victim, even as he secretly controls the outcome. The dark genius of EJ DiMera, a master of manipulation. EJ has always been a man who thrives on control. Whether it's in his business dealings, his personal relationships, or even in his legal battles, He has consistently demonstrated his ability to manipulate situations to his advantage. His charm, intelligence, and ruthlessness have made him one of the most formidable characters on Days of Our Lives. It would make perfect sense for someone like EJ to set up a situation where he could not only survive an attempt on his life, but also turn it into a spectacle that serves his interests. The idea that EJ could have staged his own shooting is not as far-fetched as it may seem. He has the means, the motive, and the ability to manipulate those around him. By pretending to be the victim of an attack, he could garner sympathy from his family, friends, and even the audience, while secretly maneuvering to achieve his own goals. The fact that he appears so vulnerable after the shooting only adds to the drama, making it all the more believable that he is the one who has suffered. But is it all a grand performance? Could it be that EJ's amnesia and confusion are nothing more than a carefully crafted facade, designed to distract from the true nature of his actions? Given EJ's history of devious plots, it wouldn't be surprising if he's orchestrated this whole scenario as part of a larger plan that we haven't yet fully understood. The possibility of no killer. Is this the drama EJ created? The idea that there is no killer at all is a shocking one, but it's a theory that aligns perfectly with the character of EJ DiMera. What if the entire shooting was an elaborate ruse? What if there was never any real danger to EJ, and he simply set the scene to create drama, manipulate those around him, and set up a complex narrative of betrayal, vengeance, and intrigue? In a show like Days of Our Lives, where the lines between reality and fiction often blur, it's entirely possible that the shooting was just the beginning of a much larger plot. EJ could have staged the entire event, carefully crafting every detail to ensure that he could control the narrative and keep everyone guessing. This would allow him to remain at the center of attention while simultaneously maintaining his position of power within the DiMera family and the wider world of Salem. What happens next? The unraveling of EJ's master plan. As the story unfolds, the question remains: will the truth ever come to light? Will anyone discover that EJ shot himself and staged the entire drama? As the layers of deception peel away, it's clear that EJ's machinations will continue to play out in unexpected ways. Whether or not the truth about the shooting is revealed, one thing is certain: EJ DiMera will continue to manipulate, deceive, and control those around him to achieve his goals. For the viewers of Days of Our Lives, the mystery of EJ's shooting is far from over. Each new revelation brings us closer to understanding the full extent of EJ's cunning and the dark path he's chosen to walk. As the story unfolds, it's impossible to ignore the possibility that EJ may have orchestrated his own near-death experience as part of a grander, more sinister plot. Conclusion: the mastermind revealed? In conclusion, the theory that EJ shot himself in Days of Our Lives adds a fascinating and dark layer to the ongoing mystery. Given EJ's history of manipulation and his desire for control, it's entirely plausible that he orchestrated the entire shooting as part of a master plan to frame his enemies, manipulate his loved ones, and maintain his position at the top of the DiMera family. Whether or not we'll ever know the full truth, one thing is certain: EJ DiMera is playing a much bigger game than anyone realizes, and the shocking events surrounding his shooting are just the beginning. Our TV channel, Soap News and Spoilers, is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Days of Our Lives updates and news. So subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.